Given that Lost Ark's already been out for 3 years in Korea, there is a heap of information out there, provided you can find an English version of it, and there is a lot, in my experience, that people just don't even know about. Things that you're unlikely to find just by searching on Google and having it pop up. This video is going to be introducing you to the most useful of those things that I think everyone, from beginners to advanced players, need to know about. If we haven't met before, I'm ActusXD, you're lovely, let's get stuck straight into it. Actually, before we get stuck straight into it, if you have any other resources that I've missed, then leave a comment down below letting me know about them and I'll make another video. And just as a quick disclaimer, I don't have anything to do with either the creation or the creators of any of this content. All I'm doing is just putting it in one place for you to be able to find and utilize. Starting with the most widely usable by literally everyone is this daily and weekly character tracker, so that you can keep a track of all your characters. Who would have thought? You use this so that if you've got, say, 4, 5, 6 characters that you're doing dailies, weeklies, and all those kind of things on, you can keep track of exactly what you've done on each character every day and every week. It goes into the minutiae or the nitty-gritty as you get further down, so that you can be tracking exactly how many rapport songs you've done on every character. So this is an easy way. If you just log in on a Tuesday morning and you're like, all right, what do I still need to do on my Bard for the weekly? Then you can just scroll down here and be like, okay, I've got to knock off one of my Una's weekly tasks and an Abyssal Raid. Credit goes to ABC, Leo Chan, Ultiz, and Thunder Kato for creating and modifying this. If you want to get this, there's a link in the description below. You just need to make a copy of the template for yourself in your Google Docs. And then if you want to use this reset button to reset everything that you've ticked, say if you get to the end of the day or the end of the week and you want to clear everything, you just hit that reset button. But if you want to be able to enable that or to use it, then you need to click extensions, macros, and click one of these, and then you'll have to authorize it through Google. The next thing I want to talk about is an ability stone calculator. So let's say, for instance, that you pick up this ability stone that is perfect for your class, or at least has one engraving effect that is schmacko and it is exactly what you want to get, and you want to prioritize it. You can use this calculator to identify every click that you should take to give you the greatest percentage likelihood of succeeding with as many of that one engraving effect as you want to achieve. So you can see here that I've got the preset on maximize skill 1. I main a gun lancer, so let's say, for instance, that I really want to prioritize barricade, and I don't care about the second skill that's on it. I would select this, and it highlights up here, if say skill 1 is barricade, that I should be choosing this. In game, I would click barricade, and I would see what happened to the stone, and then I would update the calculator with what actually happened. So you always start with a 75% chance for success, so I'm pretty much always guaranteed to choose the engraving effect that I want first. And let's say that I choose it and it fails, so I'll come back here and I update the calculator to say it's a fail. The next thing it's going to do is tell me, it's going to update and tell me, well, what do I do next? Obviously, because we failed, we should continue to try skill 1 or barricade again. So we click that again. It's telling us to do the same thing. So we say in game, we tried it and it added 1 this time. It's going to update and say, well, skill 1's still the one to take. We do it again, and it works. So now we're on 55% chance. So now the calculator is telling us to select skill 2. Let's say we do skill 2, whatever it is in game. And so if we succeed on skill 2 for a 3rd time consecutively, it's now telling us that we should be clicking the negative engraving effect because we want it to fail. So then you just go through like that. You might wind up with an ability stone where you want to have balanced, where you want to prefer skill 1 or 2, or you want to just avoid negative engraving effects as best as possible, and you can choose that, or you can add your own, and then it gives you the 10 most likely outcomes on the right hand side here about what is the most probable thing to occur. You keep picking up ability stones and then just dismantling them because you don't know what's worth what, and you can't be bothered trying to search every combination every time you pick one up. Well, this here is the solution. Engraving Calculator is a way for you to just plug in both the engraving effects that are on your ability stones, and it will tell you how many classes and what specs it matches. I play a gun lancer, so let's just say I pick up an ability stone that has Barricade and Adrenaline on it, for instance, and I see, well, is this a useful ability stone? I hit submit and I can see here that there are two perfect matches, or two classes that prioritize having both of those engraving effects very highly, one being a blue Warlord Gunlancer, which happens to be exactly what I play. What a miracle. So straight away you can tell right there that Firepower Enhancement Artillerists and the best class in the game, the Blue Lancer, are both going to be seeking an ability stone with those two engraving effects. It's going to be worth a bit of money, so you can either use it for yourself, which you should already know because it's your class, or you can put it on the market for more value than, you know, just throwing it up there for some useless amount. You can also use this website to check builds lists, which will give you some indication about where you should be prioritizing your engravings for every class and their certain specs, as well as the most popular engraving effects in the game generally. If you want to support these guys, then click the link in the description down below. They've got a Discord and a Patreon, so you can support their efforts. Moving away now from ability stones, we have this map, which highlights every island that has tier 1 gear enhancement material, which are the ones that have green circles around them. Islands that have tier 2 honing materials, they have the light blue circle around them, and those islands that have engravings, which have red circles around them. So this is a great resource to have just on your second monitor or your iPad sitting next to you as you're going through the world and trying to snaffle, siphon all of those honing resources as best you possibly can. You just have this open and you can see, well, what are the islands I want to hit to start getting towards the 600 gear score and breaking out of tier 1. So you can be looking at these green ones working your way up here. Unfortunately, I got linked this map via Discord from a friend, so I don't have the person to credit for it. If you do know who's done this excellent work, then please let me know. There's a link to the map down below. It's great quality, so you can zoom right in and see exactly what you're going to be able to get. And some of the islands even have little extra information telling you where to stop doing the quests, or if you should be looking somewhere else like Max Roll for a bit of a guide to give you a hand as to what to do. But this is an excellent resource just to have at a glance to be able to smash out those honing materials. In a similar vein, this is a resource that probably quite a few people will know about. However, if you're anything like me, you'll have taken one look at it early when you first reached, say, level 50 and thought about trying to rush your gear progression as much as possible and got intimidated and ran away. So I thought I'd include it here because I just want to tell you to come back and have another look at it. It's Max Roll's Road to Rohindl guide, and basically it teaches you how to speed your way through to tier 3 as quick as possible by doing the most efficient route. The thing that I found most useful in terms of doing this guide is the Guiana Sea route, which tells you, you know, the most efficient sailing path to do every island, so that you're not getting halfway through one island, finding you need some emote or song, and then forgetting to never come back, or you go and get it halfway across the world and then you come all the way back again. This will line you up so that hopefully for wherever it's feasible, you'll have got the emote or the required action before you get to the island, and you can just knock it out while you're there. So in that instance, it's really useful. And it will also link you to the island guides, particularly where you need a little bit more information. The rest of it you can choose to follow or not, but in terms of just looking at the island specifically, I found it really useful. One thing I will say, however, is that this is made for people who are planning to punch tier 1 sort of in as quick as possible with quite an amount of playtime. So it tells you to save your Guardian raids and your Chaos dungeons. If you're going to take your time but you still want to be efficient in your island routes, that might not be the best choice for you. It'll just depend how fast you're leveling. Maybe you should take advantage of getting your Chaos and Guardian raids done daily rather than trying to boost your eye level up as high so you can do as high of those dungeons as you possibly can. That's a decision you'll have to make, but in terms of just the information in this guide, it's really good. And lastly, for the resources, is a joint resource, a combination resource, let's say, which is a Reddit thread which has a huge amount of links to resources and other information that is incredibly useful. An excellent general resource locator. That's all I have for you in terms of the resources. Thank you very much for watching this video. Comment down below either what your favorite resource here is, or if you think that I've missed one, tell me what it is and I'll make another video or pin your comment depending on what it is. As always, thank you very much. I love you, and remember,